And so what it's done is it's shifted the dynamic of how Black men show up on more feminine. What do you bring to the table, sis? Instead of them building the table and being acting within their masculinity, chasing women, courting women, because the art of the court is lost. Men just aren't doing that anymore because they don't have to, because women aren't setting the standard, because there's a scarcity mindset about them not being able to have a man. And they only getting a piece of a man in this. If you can get a piece of my love, is waiting for you. These women are taking a piece of these men's love, and they're living just to get a piece of that. And I'm telling you, the only piece I want is looking out in my backyard and seeing these deer run around and watching these trees. I would be by myself before I took a piece of a man. The piece that I got in my life right now is worth way more than a piece of some raggedy ass ninja. For real. But the problem is, the dynamics has really changed in our community, and we don't have a lot of options that a lot of other people have in other communities, and therefore we settle. And that's the unfortunate part. What do you guys think? Dr. Felice, any commentary on that?
I think you said it all. I mean, it's true. We don't have the same opportunities, tangibly, that most people have. Our mindset and values, I don't know what happened. Like before, when I was growing up, you could say certain things that Black men and Black women wouldn't do. And we could stand on it proud. Man, I don't know how long that's been since we could say that. We can't say that anymore. What has happened to our community? We have drunk the Kool-Aid and then created our own punch and wine with it. It's like we have got to come back sometimes to original foundational principles. I had a philosophy teacher who said, you will always tell a nation by the standards of their women. When a woman's standard goes down, your country has the threat of being annihilated. And so women hold the standard. And if we don't have a standard, our men will not. They will rise to the standard that you give them. If we all stood in sisterhood and told these boys, these men, you got to go back home. And I'm talking about your mothers telling their sons, you got to go back home, sir. You can't come here. You can't lay your head here. You got to go back. They would either have to be homosexual or have to get it right. And we have the power as women to unite and say, look, we got a standard that we got to all rise up to, especially if we want to save the family. Family is cornerstone to thriving societies. And we are bottom on the list in how we are contributing to that. And so we got to get back. So
but see, that's the standard. So those women in that first video, they are the result of that entire conversation. There's no standard. There's no boundaries. They don't want more for themselves. They just want the bag. They don't give a damn. They'll take a piece.
But guess what? The standard gets lower because somebody in our ancestry dropped the ball. And so what do certain cultures say? They say, you always tell the story. You always share the story. You don't let it go. When you birth the child, as soon as they come out your womb, you share the story. When you get in your village, you share the story. You pass the baton. And somewhere along the line, we have dropped the baton. It is not their fault that they don't know. It had to be passed down. So I own it. I take responsibility for the fact that these young girls don't have the values that they know to have. And
you can't take responsibility. You take responsibility for who you have direct access to, for who you have direct responsibility over. And I'm sure your daughter is a beautiful, wonderful human being.
She is.